What is going on, people inside that internet machine? Welcome to this episode of Odds and Ends, and today we are talking about things that annoy you when you go to the game store. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that most of you out there love supporting local. Your local, produce store, your local pizza shop, whatever it is. And video game stores are no exception if you're into the video game thing. But some of these things, man, that we want to talk about are red flags, if you will. They are just annoying things and sometimes inexcusable. I always say unexcusable, but I think it's actually inexcusable things that game stores do that really just make the buyer experience so poor that you never want to go back there. So tonight, I thought I would share with you my 5 game store annoyances, things I hate when I go into these game stores and I see these types of tactics. Now, notwithstanding, GameStop gets a ton of heat, and rightfully so. So I'm going to mention 3 things right off the bat that Game Store does or has done that's just really annoying. The first one is if you're buying a new game, you expect that game to be in the cellophane and they want to give you an open copy. That is so annoying. I'm buying a brand new game. I want it in the cellophane. I will open it and play it when I am ready to play it. The other thing that's not kosher about that, not cool about that, is that they may give you a copy that someone returned and they're saying that it's new, and they've already used a download code or any of the other little codes in there for whatever, content or access to something. And then when that doesn't work and you bring it back, they try and give you a hard time about it. Just, if you would have just given me a new copy that was wrapped in cellophane, we could have avoided this whole thing. I don't know why that's a GameStop thing. Just like the second thing, in the past, GameStop used to put the sticker on the spine, on the cover art, on the inside of the case. And it was so annoying. Whoever thought of that, whoever in the board meeting was like, hey, why don't we do this? That'll be a good idea. That way people can look at it, look at the price on the spine. Whoever did that needs to be taken to an island somewhere and never be allowed to touch a video game ever again. They should never be allowed in the video game industry. The third thing that GameStop does, and I've seen this 3 times in my experience, there used to be a time when GameStop did not take retro games. So you can imagine how this goes. Hi, thanks for calling GameStop. How can I help you? Yeah, I got a box of Nintendo and Super Nintendo games. Well, I know damn sure we don't take those games. Sir, why don't you just go ahead and bring them in and I'll take a look at them for you. Okay, thanks. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Right? Then the person gets there and the employee buys the games from the person, which they're not supposed to be doing on their work hours. You know what I mean? It's just a bad practice. The first time this happened, my son and I were in the parking lot and a guy pulled out a box of Super Nintendo games and N64 games. And it's all the Mega Man X's, all the Donkey Kongs, Name an RPG, the Mario, Zelda, all of the stuff, right? All the good stuff. I said, man, I'll be willing to buy this from you. And he said, well, the guy in the GameStop offered me $175. And I said, I will go to that Huntington ATM machine right there, right in viewing distance, and I will give you $250. On one hand, I promised the guy at GameStop I'd sell it to him. So, kudos for him for, I guess, having some type of integrity or ethics. But at the same time, that's bad on him because you're selling it to a GameStop employee while they're on the clock, and I'm offering you $75 more. And then another time I was in there and a guy brought in a box of Super Nintendo stuff, and the employee's like, oh, wow, Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore, Donkey Kong Country, da-da-da. And I look over and the employee looks at me with sheer terror. Like I'm gonna dime him out or something. And he's like, can I help you with something? And I'm like, nah, man, whatever. So yeah, GameStop, that is a bad practice and that is absolutely annoying. Okay, so what are some of your most annoying things at game stores? Leave a comment down below and I'll start my list. Number 5 is not respecting the customer or the customer's time. Stupid owners and stupid employees. The owner's usually the guy that shows up in the morning, at least in our parts. And when your store is supposed to open at noon and you don't get there till 12:30, you are not respecting the customer's time. All right. Second of all, why would you do? You've been given this gift of having a video game store, doing something that you love every single day of your life, and you can't even be bothered to be there on time. a big trade comes in, right? And they're processing the trade. And they're like, I'll be with you in a minute. And you're like, I just want to buy this one $10 game. And they'll sit there and still process the trade. That is super annoying. Or like, do you have item X? Do you have a wired 360 controller? Do you have a manual for Super Mario Brothers 3? And their response is, yeah, it's in the back somewhere. Which is basically code for F off, I'm not going back there and getting it. It's pretty damn lazy. The snarky or elitist employee that wants to like be the cool guy in the room and always wants to downplay, well, oh yeah, that's a great game, but it's not as good as this game over here. Or I never play racing games because they're dumb. I always play RPGs, or I only do Pokemon cards. These guys are absolutely ridiculous. And it ruins the buyer experience. You're not respecting the customer. You're not respecting the customer's time. And another tactic that I see at some of my stores, not all of them, is the upsell tactic. They will have like a PlayStation 4 that comes with a controller and cables, and then they will say, well, this is a third-party controller that comes with it. If you want an actual PlayStation controller, those are like $30, but then I'll give you like $10 for this, so your PlayStation controller will only be $20 more. That type of stuff drives me nuts, and it's not something that I see a lot, but I have seen that in the past, and it's absolutely annoying. So number 5, not respecting the customer and not respecting the customer's time. Number 4. This one happens quite a bit. GameStop is notorious for doing this one as well. I call it the one copy on the shelf scam. So you go to the shelf, hey, there's a complete copy of Need for Speed Most Wanted, the Black Label edition with the manual and the insert, and the disc is in pristine condition, and it's like, 20 bucks, let's just say. And then you go up to the counter, and then they try and give you like a greatest hits version that doesn't have the manual, or the disc is slightly scratched, or replacement cover art or something. They're trying to, at the same price. So they're trying to give you an inferior copy, but still charge you for that complete in-box price. That happens actually quite a bit around here, and it happens a lot at GameStop. GameStop, one time I got Avengers for PS4, and I took it up there, and the guy tried to give me a PAL version, which the PS4 is backwards compatible, but I'm like, dude, I just want the version that I brought. I don't want the PAL version. I want to stream this game. It might not stream. Some of those games are locked when it comes to region streaming. Or there's a complete copy like Shadow of Mordor that comes with a sticker assembly for the controller, and they try and give you, Shadow of Mordor in a GameStop case. And it's like, no, I want the one that I got off the shelf. I picked it for a reason. So it's the one copy on the shelf scam. You got to watch out for that. That is super annoying at any game store, regardless of if it's GameStop or one of your local stores. I hate that. And you gotta watch them too, because Soccer Mom may fall for that, but someone that's a collector, or you just love these Xbox 360 games or whatever it is, you want your stuff in nice condition, complete. It's just so annoying that a customer has to put up with that type of behavior from a game store. So yeah, number 4, the one copy on the shelf scam. Look out for that one. Now, all of these things, this is probably actually my second biggest annoyance, even though it's coming in at number 3. I think there's one more that's a little bit more annoying, but for me personally, this one is it. It's when stores put the good stuff online and they deny that access or the opportunity to buy those items to the in-store customers. And then they act like they can't go in the back and grab this copy of this $100 game and sell it in store. I don't know what it is about this practice. I understand that a lot of these game stores, with the economy and when COVID hit and there was a little boom, and now the economy, they were able to sell games online faster. But the reality of the situation is, if the game's $100, you're paying 13.25% in eBay fees, a 40-cent transaction fee, whatever you're packaging that in. So let's say 30 to 40 cents for packaging, and you have to take it to the store, and you have to worry about a 30-day money-back guarantee on eBay. You are not offering the same services, therefore you cannot charge the same price. That same game, I literally asked if they would do $85 cash in store, and they told me no. because they didn't want to take it offline. It's cash in hand, man. And it's basically the same price once you subtract all the fees and everything else. If you want to be an online business, then close your brick and mortar store and sell shit out of your garage like the rest of us. But you would think that, again, having the opportunity to have a game store, you would want to take care of that place and you would want cash coming in every single day. Mind you, you didn't pay $100 for that game, so you're not really losing money, but to deny an in-store customer the opportunity to buy those games is a damn shame, and it's number 3 on my game store annoyances. All right, so coming in at number 2, I think everybody's gonna have this on their list, no prices on games. I hate this practice. There's a store kind of local, it's called Cap Games. They don't put prices on any of their stuff, and I haven't bought anything from them in like 15 years. I refuse to go in that store. I refuse to buy from them at conventions because they do that same nonsense. How much is this game? Hold on, let me look it up. Dude, just sell me Ninja Gaiden for 15 bucks. That's about what it's worth. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it looks like that game's going for $18, so 18 bucks. Like, what? Come on. Now, the backlash that store owners give you is that they don't want their employees don't have time to price these games or check prices on games, but that's their job. And if they don't have time to do it, then you as the owner need to come in early or stay late or come in on Sunday if the store's closed on Sunday and get that work done. I'm so tired of these passive video game store owners. They're like, I'll just have a video game store and it'll just create revenue for the rest of my life and I don't have to put in any work. No, you have this real opportunity to have this really amazing place and you're screwing it up. The other thing that tells me is if you've got to look up eBay prices, what you're telling the customer is just go get it off of eBay. One, you don't offer the same you don't have the same fees that eBay has. You're not paying 13.25%, a 40-cent transaction fee, paying for shipping, and you're also not offering the same services. You're not giving a 30-day money-back guarantee. Usually when you take a game back to the game store, they'll either replace it with another copy or they'll give you in-store credit. Obviously, they're not delivering it to your home. You have to go to the game store, which is another reason they shouldn't be charging eBay prices. Again, respecting the customer's time, but really it's, be a big boy or a big girl and put prices on your stuff. You don't go anywhere else in society and there isn't a price on it. You don't go to the grocery store and then they have to eBay what a loaf of bread costs. You're not going to Walmart and they have to eBay what a DVD costs, right? So if no one else does it, but you're doing it, guess what? You're wrong. You're wrong for not putting prices on there. It's such a detractor for people that come into game stores. They want to feel like they're getting a deal. They want to feel like they're getting fair value. And when you're quoting them over eBay prices or at eBay prices without considering taking off what an eBay seller has to pay in fees and the services that an eBay seller provides, like it's delivered right to your front door, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. You're not taking those things into consideration. You're doing it wrong. And I refuse to go into those places. And I will contend that if you do that, you are leaving yourself open to a discrimination lawsuit. Could you imagine if a black guy came into a store and said, how much is, Chrono Trigger? And the guy looked it up online and said, oh yeah, it's $200. And while he's standing in the store, I came in there and I said, how much is this Chrono Trigger? And he said, well, it looks like the last one sold for $170 on eBay, so I'll give it to you for $170. Well, I'm getting a 15% discount over the guy that already asked for it. Again, it's just not a good practice. Are we giving friends the bro discount? Like we paid $50 for that, so we'll sell it to you for 60, who knows? But yeah, I just think that no prices on games is an absolute bad practice. It makes the customers hate your store. It may be leaving you open to a lawsuit, and it makes you look lazy, that you can't even take the time to price the items you have for sale in your store. So gaming annoyance number 2, no prices on games. All right, so coming in at number 1 is when a game store is filthy, when it's in disarray, when it's disgusting. And I'm not talking about like, hey, some dude just traded in like 6 boxes of stuff and we haven't cleaned it, priced it and put it on the shelf yet, or maybe we just got back from a convention, so we got stuff everywhere right now. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about game stores that like, they have a smell, you know, they smell bad. They smell like water damage, or they smell like BO or something in there. And they don't sweep the floors. They don't vacuum the carpet if they have carpet. The glass cases all have fingerprints and chew marks all over them. And little kids, little boogers and snot everywhere. Like they just didn't take the time to clean anything. Maybe they have 1 or 2 lights out. You know, you pull a stack of games off the shelf and you gotta dust them off so you can look at them. And you know damn sure that they don't clean those games. They don't clean the consoles. They don't clean the controllers. And quite honestly, because they are lazy, they don't care. And it's just so unfortunate and annoying. And yeah, it's crazy. Even, and this is a minor one, like they'll have other game store stickers on there. Like there'll be a GameStop sticker on there and they just put their price tag on the GameStop. And it's like, why wouldn't you just take the time to clean that off? This is like a $60 or $70 game. You know what I mean? Make it look pretty. Do a case swap. Do something. Make it look sellable. And like I said, it's just laziness. Tyler and I went to a game store a couple weeks ago, and the place looked like it was ransacked. Just boxes of stuff everywhere, stuff all over the counter, so you couldn't even see down into the display cases. It's very dark in this particular store. They have a lot of vinyl and VHS and all that, so there's sort of that old media smell that goes into it. It was not a good experience, and it's not a game store that I'll probably go to anytime soon. Yeah, it was just a bad experience. So game store annoyance number 1 for me is when a store is filthy, it's unorganized, and it's in disarray. All right, guys, those are my top 5 annoying things about going to some game stores. What are some of your annoying things when you go to a game store? Make sure that you leave a comment down below. I'm sure that some of you out there have some really, really good ones that I didn't even think of. So like I said, leave a comment and I'll respond back. Hey, like, comment, subscribe, share on social media. Don't forget to bang that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of your CM retro gaming goodness. Guys, take care of yourselves. Stay out of filthy game stores, and we will see you on the next one.